Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Morning Maniacs with Mike. I'm Michael Flippin' Rainey. I've decided to stop saying the Fuckin word because it might be affecting uh, our standing with YouTube. So I'm going to try to chill for a little bit before I get a little bit buck wild. But thank you all for joining me today. It's good to see you guys again. And thank you for bearing with me last week. I had to travel back to Philly and New York with my family. So no stream last week. And I appreciate you guys coming back today. And I got another stream coming up Tuesday night. So if anybody's more of a Night Stalker, I would love to see you there. But I'm going to continue doing the Saturday morning ones as often as I can. Next Saturday, I'll be at Joke World, so I won't be able to stream then. But for the foreseeable future after that, I'm pretty sure I'll be streaming most weeks. So good to see all you guys here. Yeah, Gator Goiter, it's friggin' insane, man. I'll never understand the way any of this shit works. There's always never any clear cut parameters in regards to how we get butt fucked. All right, here I go again. Butt fuck just flies out of my mouth the way that people down here say howdy. So I don't know. It's whatever. Good to see all you guys. Good morning, Heath Everett. How are you, baby? Good morning, Gay Scott. Oh, baby. How do you guys feel? It's 57 years. Tonight will be 57 years since the Manson murders, and it feels like just yesterday, baby. Still scares the shit out of me. And it feels like there's always new Charles Manson news coming down the pike, doesn't it? There's been a lot of good books lately. I think Chaos is at the top of the heap. Manson by Jeff Gwynne is really good, too. So always not only just an interesting case, but also a good piece of an era that likely there's so much more to the Manson story than I think we'll ever understand. So it's good to constantly be getting new information on it. I got to hit you with a chirp, baby. Yeah, we chirping, bitch. There we go. We're going to 3 chirps to start the stream. Oh, man. Good morning, Barnacle. Good to see you. Man, there was so much to try to think about what I wanted to talk about today, and I picked a bunch of things that I figured you guys might be into right now, but also some deep cuts that would be really fun. And I don't know, for better and for worse, there's never a shortage of fucked up shit to talk about. So I'm glad to be talking about it today with you, man. Good morning, friends. Good morning to everybody in the chat. I had a successful trip back to Philly, got to reconnect with Jake and John. We really carried on like gypsies. Recorded a bunch of new episodes, and we recorded a new conspiracy ep. That's our new thing. We're really having fun doing that stuff. This week, we recorded an episode on the JFK assassination. This one is more of a general overview, and as time goes on, we're going to do more, I guess, niche avenues of the JFK assassination conspiracy world. Really fun stuff. Yeah, Heath Chaos, that's it. Yeah, it's the book that Greg Fitzsimmons' neighbor authored. Really good book. There's no definitive conclusions, but I think with anything that's, I don't know, I guess quote unquote conspiracy related, that's what you're going to get, even though this shit doesn't seem very conspiratorial, I guess. But more and more things seem to line up, and it's a scary world. And the more that I'm new to the conspiracy world, so every new thing that I find out is mind blowing to me. And I guess a lot of people that have been following all this stuff for a while, it's just old hat to you guys by now. But yeah, it can be a real friggin' bummer to think that the world operates that way, and it's you wonder and you question what's actually real and whether or not you're actually mentally ill the more you learn about this shit. Yo, Kelly P, I'm getting caught up to speed on the Lindsay Clancy case. Hard to root against the paralyzed queen, but I kind of have to in this instance, but I just don't know. Donkey Dick Dom. Yeah, I did like the Idaho documentary. Not any new information in that one. However, it was cool to see everything put together. Brian Koberger really friggin' scares me, man. Just a spooky individual. And I'm kind of hoping he does get his new trial because I would love to see that little fucker executed. Yeah, so he just got a new lawyer 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, or it might have even been last week. So hopefully he does get his new trial because there's still so much shit that hasn't come out, that hasn't been revealed. There's just a lot of unanswered questions, and there is a lot of information to pull from in regards to Idaho. If you just go on friggin' YouTube, I was watching some of the police questioning of one of the surviving roommates, and yeah, truly horrifying to see a guy in a ski mask walking through your friggin' house in the middle of the night. Yeah, Shadow XL homie, he's officially stinker material. We learned a while back though. It's very scary. Like if you mention anything critical of him or that thing that he produced, YouTube will hit you with some pretty severe sanctions. Hey, Lindsay, what's going on? Oh, baby, just warming up. Have a little coffee for a couple minutes, get settled, say hello to everybody, and then we'll get started with some of the cool things that I have planned here. It's so fun, like putting these streams together every week. I feel like every week feels like friggin' show and tell. John and Jake, I feel like they humor me with the shit that I come to them with, but when I'm here, we're all true crime perverts, and it's fun to unload all this stuff, and love to have you guys unload on me as well. Yeah, Worm returned. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence there, man. I think I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt and just think, that, all right, everybody was a little bit fucked up and really unsure of what's going on there, but yikes. Oh, Gaze Cod, thank you, man. I thought I acquitted myself well in my interactions with the beautiful indigo flower. Doesn't seem like she's ever going to hit me back again, but it was hot and heavy for a good 7 minutes there last Tuesday night, and I thought I really did a good job. Tim and Peyton thought otherwise, but if you haven't listened yet, I posted my interactions with the lovely titan of the porn industry, Indica Flower, on this week's Dad Meet. And yeah, Indica messaged me, and then I responded with what I thought was an appropriate response, and Tim and Peyton thought otherwise, thought I was way too wordy. Uh, Listen, my intent was just to not come across horny, and I think I did really well. Really a fun 2 hours. Peyton rocks. Peyton Ruddy is the friggin' man. Shadow homie, can you please show your wife the indica text on stream? I would consider it, man, because oh my god. No, I would. I would, and I think I will, because there was nothing inappropriate, which was my intent all the way along, because even though this is a titan of the adult industry that I'm interacting with, who I've enjoyed her work for a while, I didn't want to come across as gross. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. I thought it was as well. All right, baby. So I got some fun stuff to show you guys. All right, so this first one, this really cracked me up. More than 50 improperly bodies found decomposing at a Chicago funeral home. Neighbors of the building that is operated as a funeral home for at least 86 years said they've been smelling something nasty for a while. All right, already, this is a black funeral home. I'm betting my life. May God strike me down and store me in this nasty ass funeral home if it is not a black funeral home. An investigation was launched after more than 50 decomposing bodies were found improperly stored in a Chicago funeral home, authorities said on Thursday. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office said it notified of bodies that were being improperly stored at South Chicago Chapel Funeral Home, located at 2939 East 95th Street on the city's southeast side. Pathologists went to the funeral home on Thursday and found more than 50 bodies in various states of decomposition. Look, it's summertime. It's hot. It's Chicago. There's going to be extra bodies around. So I think they really have to take things into consideration here. I don't know. You know how you get overwhelmed? Remember that game Hot Dog Bush? It was a flash game, and I used to play it on y8.com. And this story instantly makes me think of Hot Dog Bush because you start out with the best of intentions. You know, you get a single hot dog order, you get a second one, you get a third, and three orders. It's like, yeah, I got this shit. But pretty quickly, orders start piling up, and it spirals out of control. You're doing the best you can, but at the same time, there's still going to be hot dogs all over the place. This is no different. Investigators could be seen outside the funeral home late Thursday night. Yeah, they're going to get around to them. Neighbors at the building that has operated as a funeral home for at least 86 years, that should say something, said they've been smelling something nasty for a while. I was wondering what that smell was, one man said. I would smell like rotten sewer and just a foul smell. It's unbearable. It's crazy. Even though this is definitely a black funeral home, this sounds like white boy shit. White boys really let corpses get out of control. This usually isn't a black guy problem. So, all right, I retract all words of support that I just uttered. Yeah, this sounds like white boy shit, man. So I get why people are so upset. I really don't care what people do to my body after I die. If I ended up in one of these decomposing corpse stack up situations, I wouldn't give a fuck. And I've spoken about it before. I honestly would not mind. I should probably be proactive right now. I'm going to make a note to myself to make official arrangements and put them on paper in regards to post-life care. But I really don't think abuse of a corpse should be a crime, for one. And two, I've considered donating my corpse to a necrophilia film studio. I think the guys often have a hard enough time trying to figure out how to procure corpses to make films, and that's got to be, you know, all the typical hoops you have to jump through and all the typical obstacles that people usually face when making a film. Magnify that by 10 in regards to necrophilia film studios. And I would just like, for once, to make their days a little bit easier because, you know, what they do, it can't be replicated by anybody. And you really have to go through, you know, all the bells and whistles just to put a finished product out. And then, you know, you got to hope that it gets distributed. You got to hope that, you know, press is favorable. It's really an uphill battle when you're making necrophilia films. And I just want to try to make things a little bit easier for these guys. So that's what I'm looking to do when I pass away. Like I said, I haven't really put anything in writing in regards to donating my body to a necrophilia film studio, but I have to do that. And if anybody has any ideas or any insights as to what some of the better studios are, because even though I am not picky about what happens to me post-mortem, I kind of want to be put into the hands of somebody who knows what they're doing from a necrophilia standpoint. You know, you don't want to just give it to an up-and-comer DIY creator who's just getting into the necrophilia game. And I really want to know that my body is in the hands of somebody capable, like the John Waters, John Carpenter, you know, Christopher Nolan of necrophilia films. That's what I want to be. That's what I want to be given to. That's the hope. But although the opposite end wouldn't be that bad, you get put in the hands of some up-and-comer college guys that are just getting into the necrophilia game. I would kind of like to, you know, be a part of their rise as well. I like seeing people succeed, and it would kind of be like joining the Yankees if I went right to one of these Christopher Nolan necrophilia types. So I don't know, maybe there's a Kevin Smith out there who's just barking to get into the necrophilia game, and I might be the guy that is able to bridge that gap for him. Yeah, Worm Return, that's a good suggestion. Ask Indica if she knows anybody. Although I think I really might have emptied the clip by calling her on Instagram at the end of the episode on Dad Meat the other day. So I'm going to refrain from any further messages for the time being. We do have like a mutual acquaintance So I could possibly still have an inroads with her. So we'll see how that plays out. Gator Goiter, well done. Yeah, Kevin Stiff is the necrophilia director who I'm looking to get in contact with. So if anybody knows Kevin Stiff, I would appreciate that. Oh my God. All right, so fucked up white boy shit with this 50 body stack up in Chicago. Black owned funeral home, clearly, but letting bodies rot to the point where it affects the entire neighborhood is white boy shit. But this next thing. All right, so some of you guys might have seen that this week. There was, let me pull up this fellow. So there was a guy who, this fella, Andrew Delcamp, is a guy who got pulled over because he was driving a stolen motorcycle. And then the police, they apprehended him. And he ended up doing one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen on police body cam footage. I watched this about 15 times this week, and this will be the 16th. I can't get enough of it, and I really hope you guys enjoy this as much as I do, because this video truly brought me a lot of joy. The act itself is funny enough. However, the cop freakouts really add an accentuation to it that you don't normally see on police body cam footage. So I want to show you guys this video of Andrew Delcamp stealing a police cruiser.
Hey, sir. I ain't playing. I don't want to.
All right, so I've never seen that before. I've seen guys try to get out of being arrested a million different ways, but I really got to take a shit is the first time that I've heard that. So it's easy to like this guy right out of the gate. He's easy to root for.
I didn't steal that bike. Okay. Did I run because I know it was stolen? Yes. Can I smoke one cigarette before we go in, please?
Nope. Look, man, I'm not trying to be an asshole.
I didn't see you guys behind me for a long time.
The owner of this bike is tracking it, okay?
So how come he didn't get it from dude earlier this morning? I know who had that bike earlier.
Who's that?
I can't. I'm not a rat. I can barely talk. I clearly I'm not trying to be I promise you.
Well, you just told me you wanted me to get bit by that dog.
Because I was upset at the time. Please let me
see. This is one thing that I really like about this guy and about anybody in general that has a legendary freak out. If you just flat out say, I did it because I was upset, to me, that buys you a lot of grace. So kudos to Andrew for letting that rip and letting the cop know exactly where he was at. Like, yeah, I wanted you to get bit by a dog in that moment. And normally I wouldn't vocalize that kind of thing, but I was angry.
Cigarette, man, please.
Cigarettes are going to dry your mouth out even more, man.
I don't care. I'm going to prison.
Yes,
Please. Please, man.
You're cool with me? I might let you smoke when we get to jail.
God, this guy could be my brother. I'm still not sure how he managed to wiggle free here, sir. Golly, man.
How much do you have in the bag?
Like a quarter gram of ice and 2 Xanaxes.
Honest fella. Telling him he's got crystal meth and Xanax. Surfboard Charlie, Pedro Pascal fell off. All right, so he's got one hand free right now. Remarkable. The ingenuity displayed in this video is unmatched. Oh, yeah, here we go. Right into the driver's seat. Go, Andrew, go. Oh, my God. Is there a more invigorating feeling than driving a stolen police car and seeing 15 cops chasing after you on foot? Oh, my God. Very easy guy to root for. Anybody that knows anything about apprehension or friggin' law enforcement, why would they put a guy in the front seat like that? This seems to be the main reason why you don't do that. Or maybe you just assume that if a guy's got his hands handcuffed behind his back, that there's no way he's going to be able to wiggle free out of that. I don't know. Yeah, baby, go, Andrew. God, this looks like so much fucking fun. Yeah, baby. Yeah, he's got to call his babe. Look at this fucking dickhead. Oh my God. All right. I thought for a second the other cop was holding his hand, but this guy realizing that his entire career is probably going to be up in smoke by the end of this police chase is truly priceless. Yeah, Lee, how the fuck did that happen, man?
Okay, listen to me. I stole a cop car and I'm driving. You gotta meet me somewhere, baby.
He's so honest, man. How do you not root for this guy?
Relax. Relax, baby. We go.
Go up behind Ross's gas station. How long till you're there? Baby, how long till you're there?
Oh my God. That's got to be. Knowing you got a babe that'll back you up like this, that she'll meet you behind gas stations as you steal police cars, you need to marry that lady ASAP.
Baby, the cops are on my ass. What do I do? Baby!
Whoa.
Baby, I'm heading to your dad's house. I'm gonna hide out there.
The dad's a real one, too. Oh my God. Andrew really struck gold with this family.
Shake it.
How did that happen?
Yeah, man, it's not good when the guy who's originally the voice of reason has to vocalize that he's shaking.
Look for me, please, please. I'm heading
That's so romantic. I'm going to jump in the river. You need to look for me.
Hey, you know where your village is at?
Yeah, Andy is
Hide somewhere around there, okay?
good for him, man. He's able to navigate a high-speed chase while also communicating the next checkpoint for his girlfriend to meet him at. What do you think, dickhead?
Next thing I know, he was just.
Man, I always say that you can tell a lot, if not everything, about a person by their haircut, and that cop in the passenger seat has full-on dickhead haircut, so there's no coincidence that his suspect is the one that escaped.
I saw him when we went to press his bag.
Walks around with his mouth open. Yeah, he's the one that's going to have escaped prisoners. Man, beautiful country to drive like this in. Just hang your face out the window, Ace Ventura style. Catching bugs in your teeth.
Hey, relax, man. Relax.
Chimping out, man. Oh, now they got to spike his ass. Still, look, unflappable. Look at Andrew. Calling his babe back. I thought. The way that video's edited, it looks like he's calling the cop.
He's on 67 North. Okay, just rounded the curve right there.
Baby, York Village.
Sweet fella, man. Keeps calling his girl baby.
Drive so much further. York Village, I'm gonna run and hide. Love ya. Love ya.
I mean, that's Andy in a nutshell. Now these cops are more capable than the others, it seems. They're not wigging out at any point. They're just following what's happening. They're ready to kill a guy if they have to, but they're not going to freak out because they recognize that chipping out is just going to make things 1,000 times worse. Yeah, it's so cool how the entire time he's just sweet talking his girl. Baby, I need you to meet me at York Village right quick and wear something sexy. Wear that little Cookie Monster number you wear. Yeah, get his ass, buddy. Yeah, you got a fucking cop barking in the front seat. That's the goal as a criminal. It's if you could have cops barking at your behavior, that's really, it doesn't get any better than that. Sharp curves, baby. These guys are just planning on chilling all fucking day. Nice Saturday afternoon. You don't plan for things to heat up until the night shift comes in, but when your fucking dickhead partners leaves his keys in the car, allows old wild ass Andy to steal that shit.
I don't see him. Scott, where you at? See him? No. Scott, where you at? Where you at? Bobby! Scott!
All right, who's Scott and Bobby? I wonder if Scott and Bobby are just like gay informants who hang out in the woods just to suck guys off, and they're just beckoning them to help out with this escape meth guy. Yeah, I don't think they ever established who Bobby and Scotty are.
Keep walking.
Still trying to contact the K9.
Scotty!
Understood.
Was that somebody yelling? Hold on for a minute.
Come on, Scotty. Answer, baby.
Oh,
Answer,
man.
Scotty.
I met you too, brother.
I hear him back there. He's way back here.
He locked himself out of the car again.
I can see 52's rifle is secure in his vehicle still.
He should have taken the gun. That's the one critique that I have. Yeah, Peach Feet, he did escape, but he should have taken either the shotgun or the AR-15 with him to really make things fun.
Oh, we're here, Chris. Over here, Chris. We got eyes, Chris. We got
All right,
eyes.
so now we got Chris. Never a good sign when you got to call Chris into the woods.
I mean, I'm sure they're amped up. I get it.
How do those not have the anti-theft device on them?
They do. Yeah, they should all have the anti-theft.
Go ahead, where you at?
Oh man, that's like the ideal setup. This is how you want to go for a drive. You want to have your laptop next to you, just with your games, your videos loaded up, and a rifle in your right hand, just ready for whatever.
I know. 905, 1110, 729 also.
Bobby, which way they run?
When I got on the scene, Kelly was the only one here.
You want some spray? I would put some on.
Oh, we got Kelly on the scene too. Okay.
There's a Forest Service road down here. Do you want to go down it? Just hop in back.
Wait, was that in reference to bug spray, you think?
Oh, sorry.
What? Oh, you're fine.
I didn't know everybody was in here.
Just scoot over.
Love seeing cops scooch.
He got his shirt off. He stripped his shirt.
I can't figure out how he took the cuffs.
You know how damn far this
Why?
is? You know how far away I am from my car?
I should have shot him.
You should have shot him.
Yeah.
Man, close your
I saw
mouth.
him move one time. I never thought there was a chance in the world he'd slip him.
Sure, off and in handcuffs.
We sure got to be. He's driving the vehicle.
I don't know how that happened.
Was he
God, this
serious?
makes me want to play paintball with the boys.
I feel right now.
You wouldn't be the first person.
Hell no.
Nah, I don't know. You might be the first person to ever have a guy do this to you.
Door handle, Bobby took off. I was screaming at Lee. I was like, oh my God.
You still haven't caught him yet, so maybe chill with the fucking war stories.
I got all four. He was still 80, 90 mile an hour down 49.
So, you dived. I was like, oh. I went to pull my gun. He went like this.
I went to K9. Now your hands up. I'll send the dog. You will be missed. Everybody no, stay back.
If you want to work towards about the middle.
Worm
where we
return.
left you.
I talked to Chris Wood about a month ago. He's doing okay. He's learning welding right now, and I'm going to get him on getting some head. I think the beginning of next month.
I don't want to get in there.
Yeah, sure. No, he's not far. That's precious track as you can get.
Why is he not? He's running. He's still moving.
I know. Hang on, get close, but not. We don't
Oh, this poor guy's covered in ticks.
Yeah,
I know it.
You're good. No, you're good. I'm just. Hey, Trent, went through here. Okay, you gonna swing around? No, you are good.
All right, he's in the brush pile with the lampshade on his head.
You are good.
Circle around it. Hey, right here. Show me your hand.
Show your hand.
You better not move. You hear me? Do not move. Do not.
I wonder if they smile at each other when you find somebody, a suspect that's hiding. Oh, sticker bushes everywhere. This shit hurts.
Let go of the tree. Hang on. Calm down.
Stand up. Put your feet under and stand up.
Damn it. You're way in there. Put your hands behind your back.
Come on. Andy, come on. I want to root for you, brother. As a man, you can't say owa. Chill the fuck out, Lee.
Go.
Man, certified retards.
You're going to do it for a long time, but hopefully start.
I do prison. Man. Wigger words to live by. I do prison.
Obviously showing what he's like. Let's get a cage card to take him.
Dude, are my pinkies doing a problem to
You
you?
got the right to remain silent. I'd suggest you use it.
I think you shut the
He's snapping. Are my pinkies a problem? I suggest you shut the fuck up.
I was grabbing you so I didn't fall.
No, you weren't, you little sucker. All right, let's go back to that moment. I don't think he was grabbing him so he wouldn't fall. Yeah, that was shitty, man. Come on.
You so I didn't fall.
Dude, how many cops does it take to catch a wigger without a belt? I mean,
Make sure you got no blood on it. He's bleeding.
that's like day one at the police academy. You're just doing cardio, chasing wiggers without belts all day. Oh, this shit's lame.
What's your name? What was his name?
Which one?
These two right here.
Stinson
Yeah,
Morgan.
real cornball. Standing over a guy who just outsmarted you in a way that should not ever be possible.
I'll catch you again.
I thought I'm doing 20 years.
Talk to you second time. What's the third?
You caught me the first time?
Yeah.
4.5 years ago?
Yeah.
You catch when your ass would. I know it wouldn't. I know who it was. It wasn't you.
He's such a bad boy. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, that's respect, pussy. Everything this guy says belongs on a fucking t-shirt.
I know it. You can make it in prison. You get for sure.
Where's your shoes?
I know. What county am I going to?
Oh, man. I love the guy. Listen, I love the guy. I know his pants stayed on somehow.
He wasn't ever trying to hurt you, but he kept looking at your cap going, click, click, click. I'm like, hey.
The suspect, identified as 38-year-old Andrew Delcamp, has an extensive criminal history in Missouri.
Looks good for 38.
Cases dating back to 2017. According to court records, he previously pleaded guilty to second-degree burglary in 2019 and was sentenced to 7 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections. For
Yeah,
this
he looks
case,
like a burglar.
Andrew pleaded guilty in 2 separate Butler County felony cases on February 25th, 2025. He pleaded guilty to first-degree tampering with a motor vehicle, resisting arrest by fleeing while creating a substantial risk of serious injury or death, and second-degree burglary.
Never gets
Sentenced
old.
to
When you
7
steal a
years
cop's
in the
police
Missouri
car,
Department of Corrections for tampering with a motor vehicle and 2
you're
years for
chasing
resisting
the
arrest
high
with a
of
disorder
seeing
to
them
run
chasing
back-to-back.
after
He
you
received
initially the
7
entire
years for
time.
second-degree burglary, which was
It doesn't get
after
better than
in
that.
total, Andrew was sentenced to 16 years in prison, just 4 years shy of.
All right, 16's a lot. So, Andrew, all the best to you, brother. If you're able to see this somehow, I know they give you guys leapfrogs or whatever the fuck you get in jail. Hopefully you're able to watch this and just know that we at Little Stinkers support you wholeheartedly. And if we could put some money on your books, I'd be happy to do so, man. Oh, fuck. I saw this. Let me see. I think I took a screenshot of it, but it's R. Kelly's jail info. Yeah, I know I got it somewhere in here, but it might be worthwhile putting some money on R. Kelly's books for the sake of just trying to get something in return. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it would be poor form for me to put money on R. Kelly's books in the hopes that I get an interview or something out of him? Or do you think it's too nasty to send him money? Because I could be swayed either way. My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. But a lady on Instagram posted R. Kelly's prison info. If you want to support him, if you want to put money on his books, all right. Dr. Gone says too nasty. All right, man. I could be swayed, man. I really could be swayed. Can you just send him ramen and cigarettes directly? That's a great question. I haven't even considered that. I'm going to try. Maybe I'll try with one packet of ramen and one single cigarette. I don't know. Newports, yeah. He's a Newports guy. But my body's telling me yes. I don't see nothing wrong. All right, y'all, we're moving on to... So mentioned at the start of this, the new Idaho murder documentary, which was on Netflix last week. Not any new info, but it was presented well. A lot of spooky stuff. Brian Koberger, just a real top-tier piece of shit. And it was, if you haven't watched it yet, check it out. It's a good, I guess, summary of the case. One of the better aspects was the family impact statements at Brian Koberger's sentencing. The one girl, Kaylee Gonzalez's family, is very funny, very cool, and very supportive. And they're the kind of family like you would want in your corner. They were interacting with Brian Koberger in a very funny way. Her sister called him a pussy at one point. Dad was a very good speaker who really put him in his place. Very cool to watch. You can watch it either just on YouTube on their own, or you could watch it as part of the documentary. I would definitely recommend checking it out. But I found this site which this woman created this cool visual model of the Idaho house and how the murders likely unfolded in accordance with how evidence was found. And she really does a good job of packaging all of this information together because it's an oddly constructed house and it's hard to contextualize how everything unfolded. But she really does a great job, not only putting this 3D model together, but in narrating how all of the shit unfolded. So we'll pop it off here. And if you're not familiar, in November of 2022, this guy named Brian Koberger broke into this house, murdered 4 college kids, left 2 surviving roommates, which is always odd. And that's one of the questions that I hope gets answered if he is able to get a new trial.
We're going to start at 3:30 a.m. At this time, everyone is asleep except for Xana. Looking inside the home, we can see where everybody was. Starting at the 3rd floor, we can see where Maddie and Kaylee were sleeping.
So 2 of the victims were asleep in the same bed together. The other 2 victims, they were sharing a bed, but they were separate from each other. The girl, Xana, she was up getting food, and her boyfriend, Ethan, was in bed in the 2nd bedroom on the 2nd floor. This is the top floor. 3rd floor, which is Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez.
Maddie was sleeping on the edge of the bed, while Kaylee was sleeping near the wall. As we go out and drop down to the 2nd floor, we can see Dylan's room directly under Maddie's room. Continuing across the living room onto the other side of the home, we see Xana's room. She's sitting in bed scrolling on her phone while Ethan sleeps next to her. Minutes ago, she had just finished ordering DoorDash and has all the lights on while she waits. The last roommate to mention is Beth, whose room is on the 1st floor, directly below the living room. As most of them all sleep, Koberger pulled into the neighborhood for the first time this night at precisely 3:30 a.m. We know this due to a home security camera that captures the intersection.
And he makes numerous passes around this house, which is even scarier. One of the more recent developments that just add to how terrifying this whole shit was was that a defense expert who was hired to work on Brian Koberger's behalf, his NDA expired, and he came out and said that there is cell phone data which places Brian Koberger inside the house before the night of the murders. I would bet that he wasn't invited, so even scarier.
And records the coming and going of anybody that enters that neighborhood.
Lotus Lover, yeah, I will send R. Kelly a copy of the Wigger Bible. Thank you, brother.
On the second floor are still on. He drives on and loops around the apartment complex building. Because of the home security timestamp, we're able to know how long it took to drive this path. On his first pass, it took him 2 minutes and 38 seconds, and this is him leaving on the first pass. Now let's look at
he makes 4 total this night.
The times. This is pass 2 of him entering and leaving. And now this is pass 3 of him entering and leaving.
And it's about 40 minutes or so, 50 minutes after the initial pass where he finally enters the house.
You can see how long he took each pass. The last 2 passes were normal without any stopping. But on his first pass, he took an additional 42 seconds to creep by the house, or even stop for a time to stare into the windows with the lights on.
Yeah, it seems like there's some good creep vantage points at this house from that hill by the apartments, unfortunately.
But there's a second camera located behind the apartment complex building, and we're going to call that camera B located here. This camera allows us to see how long it took to get from point A to point B, and between the 3 security cameras' data, it took between 35 and 37 seconds. What this means is you didn't stop or park somewhere or go into a different direction. He simply drove straight from point A to point B at regular speed.
It's nuts how close other people are to the scene.
The DoorDash delivery window. According to court documents, 2 times are noted. One is 3:59 a.m. and the other is 4
man, this guy's got to be shitting his pants knowing what fucking ended up happening.
Bringing back our passes
15 minutes after he dropped off this DoorDash order.
3:59 happens after Koberger has left the neighborhood and before he returns for his last pass at 4:04. It is possible that the DoorDash driver saw Koberger as he was parking his car, because the timestamp of 3:59 could be reflected when he took the photo of the food at the front door instead of the time he arrived. So it is possible he witnessed Koberger staring at the windows as he drove by.
Josh, do you want the video volume turned up or mine?
Dana turns off all the lights, sits on her bed, and scrolls on her phone as she eats her food. A few minutes later, Koberger enters the neighborhood for the last time. But this time, as he drives by the home, he sees all the lights are off. At the camera B location, he turns around to head back to the residence as shown in this video.
Man, how does anybody do anything at 4:06 in the morning? God damn.
When he returns to the front of the house, he does something unusual, so much so that it's noted in the arrest affidavit. On page 6, it states, when the suspect vehicle 1 is in front of Kings Road residence, it appeared to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. It goes on to say that he continued onto the intersection where he did a 3-point turn. This 3-point turn was captured on camera A, which has a timestamp of 4:06. He appears to be calm and not overly anxious with his driving. As he heads back in the direction of the residence, he takes one last look at the windows to make sure all the lights are off.
Oh my God.
As he begins to drive around the end of the apartment complex, camera B records the time of 4:07.
So one of the cool things about this video that this woman shows, all right, let me shout her channel out. So it's Asget Industries is her channel. And one of the cool things that I really like about this model that she created is it shows all the accessibility points, like showing him being able to do laps around the apartment building, because in video of the property, you're able to see the apartment building, but you're unsure as to where the access points are. So knowing that he's able to just do loops around this apartment building, I think adds pretty good context.
Fast forwarding a little bit, Koberger drives to the back parking lot away from other residences. He takes a few minutes looking around and sees that nobody's out and that all is quiet. He eventually grabs his things, gets out of the vehicle, and begins walking to the back of the home. At approximately 4:13 a.m., he begins to make entry.
He knows that the door's open.
As he steps in, he takes a minute to make sure everything is quiet and that nobody is truly up. He walks to the entrance of the living room and looks around.
Imagine how fucking scary this is to wake up and see this walking through your house.
He stands there listening. Feeling confident, he continues upstairs. As he makes his way to Maddie's room, the time is about 4:14. Meanwhile, 2 minutes later, Xana takes a break from TikTok and walks into the kitchen. Evidence shows her activity on the app stopped at 4:16. As she enters the kitchen, she's a little shocked to see the sliding glass door wide open. And at the same time, she hears a serious commotion going on upstairs. Hey everyone, I don't usually ask, but I'm building a small production company to bring you more exciting stories. And I up to Koberger, who had just finished an intense battle with Kaylee, who fought back violently. After a second or two, he notices her, and then she turns away. Being dark, Xana didn't realize what she was seeing other than a shadowy figure.
All right, so he just killed 2 people in the 3rd floor bedroom.
A single source, unaffiliated with the media, claims Koberger injured Xana on the 3rd floor hallway, leaving evidence of blood there. But this single source of information has not been validated by any more sources. Continuing, Koberger, without thinking, pursues her all the way to her room, not realizing he had dropped the sheath of his knife.
And this is her boyfriend in bed, by the way.
When he gets to the room, he attacks Xana, and the time is precisely 4:17:30. We know this because of camera A captured the sound of screaming and the thud. After attacking Xana, Koberger focuses his attention on Ethan and attacks him while he slept. Afterwards, Koberger must have sat down in a chair according to a report, which found blood smears on Xana's chair, perhaps from the exhaustion of what he had just done.
So killed 4 people within a matter of minutes.
The source also says that blood from the 2 roommates upstairs were found in Xana's room, showing that it was one person moving from one room to another. Koberger sitting down was for less than 30 seconds. As he gets up to leave, Dylan, hearing the commotion from Xana's room...
All right, so this is something that is a question that I would love to see answered at the trial. So one of the surviving roommates, as you see here in the model, on the 2nd floor bedroom that is separate from the bedroom that the victims were just in. She opens her door 3 separate times because she hears shit going on. She's unsure of what she's hearing, and this is the 3rd time she's about to open the door, and Brian Koberger walks right past her, and you wonder why he didn't harm her too.
Out of bed and goes to her door to look out.
I mean, walking right fucking past her. Like, they look at each other, and he just keeps going.
Into the hallway. She freezes and sees Koberger as he walks by and exits through the kitchen. She immediately closes and locks her door and retreats to her bed. Within 20 seconds of the encounter, she's calling and texting her roommates, but no one is responding. It takes Koberger a minute and a half to get to his vehicle after the encounter with Dylan. But once in his car, he flees the scene at a high rate of speed and exits the neighborhood at 4:20.
Right, so that's as good of a recreation as I've seen on the Idaho murders. Just very scary shit. And there's still a ton of unanswered questions, and I really hope that he gets this new trial so that we can find out some more info, because it was kind of odd that no part of the plea agreement that he made was to divulge more information, which people might have been unsure about before his guilty plea. Very fucking weird. Brosa Smith, what's going on, baby? All right, so that's the Idaho 4 stuff. And yeah, the Netflix documentary doesn't add any new information, but it is a pretty cool case summary, and it paints a more comprehensive picture of the victims and their lives, and just very sad stuff, man. All right, what is this shit? I'll be forgetting what I'll be bringing up sometimes. I forgot what this fucking story was. Oh, God. Lindsay Clancy. All right, so this shit is very spooky. If you guys haven't been following the Lindsay Clancy case, here's a quick rundown. So Lindsay Clancy was a Massachusetts labor and delivery nurse and mother of 3 from Duxbury, Massachusetts. Her children were Cora, Dawson, and Callan, all 5 years of age and younger. And on January 24, 2023, Lindsay was home with the kids and her husband, Patrick, and she sent him to go pick up medication and takeout. And one of the things that was revealed during the trial was that the place where she sent her husband for takeout was not a place where they normally get food from. And it was pretty far away from the house, as to where I think it was like a half hour away. So it gave her time to do what she ended up doing. And while her husband was gone, Lindsay strangled all 3 kids with exercise bands and left them in the basement. 2 of them were in the basement, and 1 was in her husband's office, which was also located within the basement. And the older kids were pronounced dead that night, while their younger son was pronounced dead several days later. And after she killed the kids, she jumped out of a 2nd-story window, ended up becoming paralyzed from the waist down. She survived, though, and her husband came home, found his wife outside, and the children were subsequently found in the basement. She was charged with 3 counts of murder and 3 counts of strangulation, pleaded not guilty. It does seem like it was premeditated. However, her defense is arguing that she was suffering from not only postpartum depression, but postpartum psychosis, which affects, I think the number was like 1 in 1,000 women who give birth. And she had sought treatment prior to this. She had actually been hospitalized for mental health reasons earlier that month. And Lindsay said she heard a man's voice telling her to kill the children as well as herself. And doctors who treated Lindsay shortly before the killings did not diagnose postpartum psychosis. And her trial started a little over a week ago, and I think we're on day 8 of the trial. So here's a little case rundown as to what's popping off with the Lindsay Clancy story. Yeah, taking a shit ton of drugs, too.
The subject of my investigation is a tragic story involving the mass killing of 3 children. Mom did it, but there are a lot of people coming to her support. Here's the story. Duxbury, Massachusetts, a quiet seaside town, was shattered by an unthinkable tragedy. Lindsay Clancy, a young nurse, devoted wife, and mother of 3, was seen as the picture of perfection. But police say behind the smiles and family photos, darkness took hold. On a cold January night, investigators say she strangled her children, Cora, Dawson, and baby Callan. All that before attempting to take her own life. Clancy's husband, Patrick, returned home to a scene of unimaginable horror. Now, the once trusted nurse faces murder charges, as her defense claims she suffered from severe postpartum psychosis. Prosecutors call it calculated. Her attorneys say it's a symptom of a mind lost to illness. Tonight, the question tears through this small town. Was Lindsay Clancy a monster or a mother broken beyond repair?
All right. So anybody who's familiar with this case, I would love to hear your thoughts because, yeah, it seems way too deliberate to equate to psychosis. I don't know. Limp Bizkit fan says the husband is on Grindr for sure. I don't know, man. God damn it. With fucking exercise bands, too. Again, girl bossing. You can't, like... It's crazy because even in the midst of postpartum depression, she's still finding time to work out.
Difficult situation. Difficult trial. Difficult case. This is far from over. Folks at home, a little more information.
The hospital selfie coming up, which is always a sign of a very mentally stable lady.
On the morning of Tuesday, January 24th, 2023, the defendant took her 5-year-old daughter, Cora, to the pediatricians for an appointment. She interacted with a receptionist, nursing staff, and a doctor. There were apparently no issues with the defendant's demeanor or behavior.
All right, cigarettes, benzos can black you out. Yeah, Kelly, this is I'm getting caught up in the trial, but this shit, I just don't know which way this is going to work out.
Without any issues or concerns. When she returned home, she went outside with Cora and her 3-year-old son, Dawson, to play in the snow. They built a snowman. The defendant sent photos to her mother and to the defendant, to her husband. She texted with them. Nothing in the text was out of the ordinary or any sign of any distress or trouble. Back inside later that day at 4:02 p.m., the defendant searched on her phone, Kids Miralax. She then searched at Takeout 3V.
Yeah, hopefully there's a purpose for the Kids Miralax, and she's not just bored and just wondering what it would be like to shit like a kid.
Via her cell phone at 4:13 p.m. Immediately after doing that, she used Apple Maps on her phone to determine how long it would take someone to drive from her home in Duxbury to 3V Restaurant in Plymouth. So she would know how long someone would be gone if they ran that errand.
Yeesh.
She next went on the CVS website at 4:47 p.m. and then called CVS on Summer Street in Kingston. She spoke to the manager of CVS and asked if they had the Kids Miralax. The manager told her no, but they had other similar medications. According to the
Fried Bryce, do you think she's single? Dude, I think her husband's been very supportive of her. Which, man, God bless him, man. But I think he got a shot. And I think one of the factors that really play into that is that she's paralyzed now from the waist down. And I think you really got to play into the wheelchair being such a massive part of what your relationship would be. I would, being that the husband is still seems to be supportive of her. Although he got remarried. Did he get remarried, or am I just thinking that? I think you might have to impound her wheelchair with her in it to really get some alone time. But it's worth a shot, and I really think you got to play the angle of the wheelchair, man. That paralysis goes nuts, I'm sure.
Of CVS, her
and
voice
she's a
did not
nurse
sound
too.
Slurred or impaired in any way. She had no trouble understanding the defendant, and it was a perfectly normal conversation. At 4:53 p.m., the defendant texted her husband, who was working in his home office in their basement. She texted, "Any chance you want to do takeout from 3V? I didn't cook anything. It's been a long day." This was an unusual request, as when the
I didn't cook anything. I've been busy planning these kids' murders.
family ordered takeout, they'd usually go somewhere closer to home, but it was a place that they had been in the past. Patrick Clancy texted back yes, and then the defendant asked him to check the menu. At 5:06 p.m., the husband texted the defendant asking what she was going to get. She responded, "A Mediterranean power bowl." She spelled it correctly, and it was something that was on the menu.
Girl boss, again, spelled everything correctly, and I like that they're putting this out to accentuate what a girl boss she is.
He then told her that he wanted the scallop and pork belly risotto.
Oh, my God.
At 5:10 p.m., the defendant called 3V Restaurant to place the order. She got the order correct. She gave the correct name for pickup, Patrick.
These jurors have to be fucking starving hearing this shit out loud in court.
The hostess who took the call said there was nothing out of the ordinary about this call. She was able to understand the defendant, that her voice was not slurred or impaired in any way. At 5:15 p.m., Patrick Clancy headed out the door to run these errands at the defendant's request. As he left, she texted him Pedialyx liquid stool softener.
Nice.
Surveillance footage shows Mr. Clancy at CVS on Summer Street in Kingston at 5:32
It's so awesome when your wife takes you nasty shit like that.
p.m. He goes to the medication aisle, the children's medication aisle. Phone records show that he called the defendant at 5:33 p.m. and she did not answer the phone. She then calls him back at 5:34 p.m. and the call lasted 14 seconds. He's there at the store unsure of which medication to get, and she tells him exactly what she wants. He had no issues communicating with her. It was a completely normal call, although he did mention that she seemed like she was in the middle of something. He is on surveillance footage during this time, exiting that aisle and appeared to be using his phone. He then heads to the register, makes his purchase.
Man, is this music playing in the background in court? Because this would be pretty sick if you can get a soundtrack to back you as you're reading these statements out loud.
And leaves the store at 5:37 p.m. He's next seen on footage at 3V Restaurant at 5:54 p.m. He picks up the food and he's out of there within a minute. When he arrives home, the first thing he noticed was the silence. He did not see or hear the...
Yeah, what if they just realized that everybody gets super fucking bored in court, and at a certain point, jurors tend to just tune out. So they're like, "Yeah, we're playing music." You could add something to the playlist if you're on the jury. So now we got this 280-pound prosecutor choosing friggin' Hans Zimmer music.
Or the children. He actually called her cell phone at 6:09 p.m. looking for them, and she did not answer. He went to their bedroom on the second floor and the door was locked. He was able to open it, and when he looked inside, he saw blood on the floor in front of a full-length mirror and the window open. He immediately runs downstairs and into the backyard, where he finds the defendant laying on the ground. She appeared to have cuts on her wrists and neck, but he stated to 911 that those wounds were no longer bleeding. She was conscious. He called 911. During this time, he asked the defendant, "What did you do?" She responded to him, "I tried to kill myself."
You're going to be mad at me, but I killed all the kids and I jumped out the window. Are you seriously mad at me while I'm clearly paralyzed?
And jumped out the window. During the 911 call, Patrick can be heard asking the defendant, "Where are the kids?" He later told police that she replied, "In the basement." So immediately after this happened, she knew what she had done and she knew where the kids were.
Good gravy.
Okay.
All right. So that's Lindsay Clancy, guys. I mean, I just don't know. Clearly premeditated. However, she's also very fucked up. So I wonder how much her being postpartum depressed is going to play into how they see this. But I don't know. It seems like a lot of forethought was put into this. And, oh man, what happened to the food? Did anybody fucking eat the food that she sent this poor guy out to go pick up? Oh man. Yes, stop yelling at me. Yeah, I killed them all, but you don't have to fucking yell at me about it. Oh, man. Classic Lindsay. I wonder if ladies prisoners are kind to people in wheelchairs in prison. Does anybody have any experience being in prison with other women? Like, are they cool that you're stuck in the wheelchair and you might not be able to do everything that they want you to do? I don't know. We got to get an inside source. If anybody's ever been to women's prison, please let me know. I wonder if they try to get rides and shit from you. Oh, dude. You guys want to watch a Perez Hilton thing? All right. So this video, it does not play the actual Perez Hilton video, but it does show some still photos. Like, yes, celebrity blogger Perez Hilton had a fucking meltdown live where he was cutting himself. I don't know. The knife didn't seem sharp. It seemed like he had a fucking butter knife that he was cutting himself with, which does not make it as scary for me. I don't know. I couldn't find the full live stream. Like, I've only seen versions where he's just like lightly filleting himself with this fucking bread knife. I'm not 100% convinced that he didn't smear red paint on himself before he started the stream because the knife did not seem sharp. Yeah, Limp Bizkit fan, please let me know what you think. I'm just not buying that these are all self-harm cuts. I think he probably had Amazon drop off some friggin' fake blood before this, doused himself, and put on a show for his friggin' live stream.
Contact police. As seen in the shocking clip now exploding on social media, Hilton appeared to harm himself while viewers witnessed the incident unfold live. Authorities say deputies responded to his Florida home after receiving numerous calls from people who watched the video online. According to People, the Miami...
I mean, scary enough that this guy looks like gay Frankenstein. If Hunter Biden was addicted to bananas, like this is what he would look like.
Dade County Sheriff's Office confirmed that Hilton was later transported to a nearby hospital for medical attention. Officials said deputies found him alone inside the home when they arrived at the scene.
Fortunately, he has kids, by the
quickly
way.
Drew widespread attention after the live stream ended, and clips from the broadcast began circulating across social media. Authorities have not publicly discussed the details of the video itself, but they said the calls from concerned viewers triggered the emergency response.
Does anybody know how old his kids are? If I remember correctly, he just obtained them like a couple years ago, and I bet they're pretty young. Which I don't know is better or worse, because if you're like fucking like 12 and you walk out in the living room with your friends and you see your dad covered in blood and rubbing a butter knife all over himself. Yeah, you almost wish you were fucking 2 at that point.
The sheriff's office said deputies treated the situation
What
as
a
a
ham. Look at
mental
this-
health
this
crisis
little fucker.
and focused on de-escalation. In a statement, officials
Yeah,
explained
they don't wanna
that
fucking
when
touch 'em.
someone is experiencing a mental health emergency or harming themselves, officers often try to create time, distance, and opportunities for communication. Authorities said those techniques are intended to reduce the risk of injury to the individual, responding deputy.
Yo, how do you interact with a guy who's covered in blood like that? Like, how do you get him out of the fucking house and to the hospital where I guess they took him, but without getting yourself covered in blood?
And the public, and to avoid escalating
Truly a
the
gross
situation
individual.
further. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue assisted with transporting Hilton to the hospital. The sheriff's office also said its crisis response unit and licensed mental health professionals were on scene providing support and resources to family members. The hospitalization comes after a difficult year for Hilton's health. In March, he...
Oh, man. Man. Listen, it's so easy to be critical of nurses, but then you remember they have to care for patients like Perez Hilton, or Perez Hilton, whatever the fuck his name is. Hey, boy. Yeah, gay Ron Perlman. Yikes, man. Just a truly disgusto.
revealed that he had been hospitalized in Las Vegas with severe sepsis, a potentially life-threatening medical condition. The following month, Hilton said he was hospitalized again, this time for a deep vein thrombosis in his right leg. He underwent...
All right, I think I'm good on Perez Hilton, man. Just not somebody that I really want to learn anything more about than I already fucking know. Everybody was saying how fucking scary the video was, and it's like, yeah, it is scary to see a guy who looks like this covered in blood, but I was watching him cut himself, and it didn't seem like the knife was really doing much damage, so I'm not convinced it wasn't fucking... I don't know. Doctored, I guess. Yeah, this is the second Weird Teeth guy featured on this episode. Yeah, I got a thing for Weird Teeth this week. Oh, there's a couple more things I want to show. Oh, this is kind of fun. So this is an old video. So this weekend is the 57th anniversary of the Manson murders. And I've always been enamored with Sharon Tate's house and the property, and now it's totally fucked. Jeff Franklin from Full House bought the property, built this fucking monstrosity, which is just, I don't know, just everything that you think an empty guy with a ton of money would build. But he leveled the old Sharon Tate property, which is very fucked up because, I don't know, selfishly, I wanted to see it stand the test of time because of the cultural significance of it. But it also was a very beautiful house. And there's a video here where you get a walkthrough of 10050 Cielo Drive, Sharon Tate's old place, when 9 Inch Nails, they were recording, I think it was Downward Spiral in there, in December of 93. And this is, even though this was at the time 24 years after the murders, it was still essentially the way it was when Sharon Tate was killed. But you get a camcorder walkthrough here of the property. And it looks nothing like this today, unfortunately. That's the guest house. All right, so go back a second. That's the guest house that William Garrettson was in. And the killers had no idea that William Garrettson was in this guest house when they were killing everybody else. A couple of the victims actually made it out to the yard there by the pool, so he's incredibly fucking lucky that they had no idea he was in there. Man, this location's fucking unreal. They ended up getting into the house by cutting a screen. You see where it's at in the hills, and I've been up there, and if you've ever been up in this area, sound travels in a very odd way, so it's difficult to decipher where any sounds are coming from, which adds much more context in regards to like why more people didn't hear anything that night. Man, I hate that they tore this shit down. So this is from the guest house, looking at the actual house.
I should wonder why. Nobody heard me from me. Get back. Get up out of me, man. I'm like across the pool. Here, let me give you this. It's ready to shoot.
And there's footage here from the living room where Sharon Tate was actually killed. All right, so this is the interior of the house. All right, so this is the living room where Sharon Tate and Jay Sebring were actually killed, and they set up the recording studio in there. I don't know. Would you feel any apprehension in going into there? I think I would be okay if there were a million people around like there are in this situation, but if you're the last guy out that has to lock up every night, I would fucking run out of this fucking place. Don't like that. Wait, is that a Gacy? Oh, it's a John Wayne Gacy picture. Jeez Louise, man. Wow. Didn't we just look at that last week? I think that was in the John Wayne Gacy artwork compilation. Very odd. There's the pig door. See if there's any more interiors of the house. Oh, fuck. Oh, I don't think I saw that before. So this is the back side of the front gate that used to be there. It's all different now. And right here in the foreground, that's where Stephen Parent's Carr ended up when he was shot and killed by Tex Watson. Man, he was so fucking close to making it out. The garage. Man, what a nice fucking property. All right, I'm going to pull up a video of what it looks like now. What it looks like now is like, it looks like video footage of a Saudi prince's colonoscopy. So this is, and they changed the address as well. They changed it from 10050 Cielo to 10066. Look at this fucking thing. All right, sick pool. Yeah, they really know how to debase a murder site, man. All right, actually pretty cool. I've instantly changed my thoughts on this fucking property. $55 million. I don't think it's for sale anymore, but I mean, look at this shit. I know Trent Reznor took the door from the house at 10050, but I wonder if anybody has any other remnants from that house. For a while, he had it as the front door to the studio in New Orleans, but I don't know what he did with it. I think he put it up for sale, actually. Would love to buy that shit. Yeah, baby. So this is what 55 million looks like, baby. That's a dream. Oh my God. Yeah, if I ever have money, this is the kind of shit that I would love to buy. Little bits and pieces of murderabilia, and on the larger scale, get to buy fucking properties where wild shit happened. I don't know that I would live there, though. I think I would have some apprehension of living in a place that had such horrific death. I don't know. I'm partial to the old Cielo Drive. Oh, God, this fucking thing. This really made me laugh. So this is a... All right, next up. So this is Wayne Baiting. All right, you know, all roads lead back to Dahmer, and this is an interview that really cracked me up and really... It shows that there's much more to the man Dahmer than was presented. And this is one of Dahmer's old bosses, this guy Wayne Baiting, who was his boss at Ambrosia Chocolate Factory in Milwaukee. And how good of an employee do you have to be where cops find severed heads in your fucking fridge, yet your supervisor thinks so highly of you that he comes to defend you in court? And this is what Wayne Baiting's going to do here.
Interestingly, Wayne described Jeff as polite, reliable, a team player, a good employee.
That's everything you want in an employee.
Connect to the narratives we've all come to know, or does it challenge them? Wayne Boning spent 5 years supervising Jeffrey Dahmer.
It's Baiting, bitch. Get it right.
No red flags, no complaints about death, no issues with
All right, I don't know if I would admit that I could not pick up a single red flag about Jeffrey Dahmer. I think, man, you kind of want to do save something, but...
More intriguingly, Wayne reported no signs of the alcoholism widely associated with Jeffrey Dahmer's infamous persona. But
finally, somebody singing the praises of Dahmer.
Dahmer was reportedly on probation for 1 year after a 1986 lewd behavior conviction.
What's lewd behavior? 1986.
Agent assigned to Jeff in 1987 even testified on court TV. However, neither Wayne nor plant superintendent Mel.
Did you have the opportunity to meet someone known to you as Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes, I did.
Is he present in the courtroom now?
Yes,
What up, Jeff?
You stipulate?
stipulate your own.
Okay. When did you first meet Mr. Dahmer?
I became his supervisor, I believe it was in May of 1986. I had met him before that, but I became his supervisor then.
Oh, I love that he only says nice things about him. God damn.
Do you recall if he was an employee of the Westside Chocolate Company at the time you became a supervisor?
At the time that I became a supervisor?
His supervisor.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
That's a killer title. I'm a
And
supervisor
did he
at the
have to go
Westside
through a
Chocolate Factory,
probationary
bitch.
period?
Act like you know.
Yes, he did.
How long does the probationary period last?
Probationary period is 1 year.
Okay. And did you review his performance while he was on probation?
I did not.
Okay. How many folks did you directly supervise when you were
Fucking
supervising
Dahmer.
Mr.
Look at
Dahmer
him.
in 1986?
Oh, man. I can't get enough of him. Dahmer cracks me up. God bless his heart.
Would have been 4 people.
Did you have any major problems with Mr. Dahmer in the early years of his employment with the Westside Chocolate Company?
No, I did not.
I don't know.
What is the title of what job Mr. Dahmer had at the Westside Chocolate Company?
He's a chocolate daddy.
He is a member of a production team involved in making chocolate.
Okay. And specifically, would you describe his job as that of a mixer?
Yes, you could use that.
Okay. And is that pretty much the same position?
Somebody has to have some of the chocolate that was produced at this factory at that time. I would kill to get my hands on that. I take back everything I just said about buying that $55 million property at 10060 Cielo Drive. I want to use all my money instead to buy some of the Westside Chocolate Company chocolate that Jeffrey Dahmer was a part of making.
Held up until the time of his termination in July of this year? Last year?
Yes.
Okay. Could you describe what the duties of a mixer are, please?
He'd be responsible for measuring ingredients according to a recipe.
Okay.
Always cooking, this guy.
Would he have to order up raw materials?
Yes, he would.
Okay. And would he have to add the cocoa, the oil, the sugar, the flavorings to all those raw materials to make the basic chocolate?
Yes.
Okay. And would specific ingredients have to be added at certain times relative to other ingredients?
Pretty much so, yes.
Okay.
This is the perfect job for a guy who likes to cut people's heads off, because for all the sour stuff you're doing, you need to counterbalance that with a lot of sweet, and that's exactly what Jeff Dahmer did.
And did Mr. Dahmer perform those sort of activities adequately?
He did a satisfactory job.
Okay. How many mixers work at one time, usually?
When we're fully staffed, 3.
So Jeff and 2 of the loudest black women that have ever existed.
Compared with other mixers who worked at the Westside Chocolate Company, how was Mr. Dahmer's performance? How would you rate his performance?
It was satisfactory.
Okay. Did Mr. Dahmer get along with the other employees?
As much as I could see, yes.
Okay. How did he act in relation to you? Did he get along with you?
I had no problems with Jeff.
Was he polite, courteous?
Jeff was always polite.
And I love that he keeps calling him Jeff. Speaks to what a guy he was. Yeah, Surfboard Charlie, great point. Dahmer was somebody's work husband. Asking him for sugar as soon as you clock in. Where my sugar at, Jeffrey? Oh, I know Jeffrey got that cocoa on him. With the marshmallows, Jeffrey. You better sprinkle them in my mug, Jeffrey. Jeff, what you sprinkling in my mug today, Jeff? Okay.
Yes, receptive.
Okay. Did he make sense when he spoke with you?
Yes.
Able to carry on an intelligent conversation?
Yes.
Okay. He had good days and bad days just like everyone else. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Hey, there's never a bad day at the chocolate factory. That's something that Jeff used to always say.
Is it fair to say that Mr. Dahmer kept pretty much to himself?
I think it would be fair
Oh
to
my
say
God,
that.
the ideal
Did
coworker.
you think that was odd in any way?
Dude, at the last place I worked, I had to share a very small office with an older woman who would microwave fish for lunch. I would have 1,000 times over taken Dahmer after Dahmer than to be subjected to that shit again.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
He was quiet and reserved. He had no problem interacting with others, but just seemed mainly to stay to himself.
Cool guy.
I'd like to draw your attention back to about 1988, 1989. Do you recall when Mr. Dahmer was staying at the House of Correction?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Was there any marked change in his work performance at that time?
No, nothing that I noticed.
Okay. Did you have any indication that he was
I like the way she phrased it. Instead of saying he was locked up, he was staying at the House of Correction.
going through some period of great stress in his life or was unable to do his work duties?
No.
Okay. In fact, would it be fair to say that Mr. Dahmer volunteered for extra overtime while he was working there, while he was living at the House of Corrections?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Anything strange about that?
No, not really.
Actually, it's kind of nice for an employer when an employee volunteers to do overtime, isn't it?
It is.
It makes it much easier than trying to assign it to somebody who may not want it.
Oh, my God.
Getting down to different behavior on Mr. Dahmer's part. According to company records, at one point, he appears to have poured the wrong oil into a mixing
Oh, get
vat,
Jeff. What the
and
fuck?
the planned product had to be changed. Do you recall that incident?
Specifically, no.
Yeah, it couldn't have been a big deal then. Why even bring it up, bitch?
If Mr. Dahmer was written up or reprimanded for that, would that be something completely out of your knowledge? Would that
Always
be
talking about
something
some
that
old
you wouldn't
shit.
Be able to believe?
No, that would be something that I would do if an incident of that nature occurred.
This is remarkable to get a guy who's an old supervisor to come give this glowing of a review of you after you've been found with blackheads in your freezer.
That sort of mistake could happen to just about anyone who's a mixer at some time?
Yes.
Okay. Other than his pattern of attendance, are you aware of any other problem that Jeff Dahmer had at work?
Nothing major at all. No.
It
Let's
tickles
talk
me how
about
they
Mr.
all
Dahmer's
call him
appearance
Jeff.
at work. Was he usually well groomed?
Excuse you?
Usually, yes.
Okay. Come to work clean?
Yes, as much
haircut?
as I could see, yes.
Okay. Was there any indication that Mr. Dahmer was racist while you were working with him?
Come on now.
No indication to me, no.
How many years did you
They're trying
work
to cancel
with Mr.
Dahmer.
as his
Yeah,
former
they find fucking tongues on the cutting
it was
board
over
in your
5
kitchen,
years.
and they're just like,
During that time, would
Jeff,
it be fair
this
to
isn't
say
going to
that
look
you
good
had
for
the
you, man. We found out
opportunity
that
to
you
observe
actually
Mr.
said the
Dahmer
N-word
closely?
during a live stream of Call of Duty a couple years back, so
During that
they're
time,
really
did you
going to
ever
hammer you
believe
for
that
that.
Mr. Dahmer was
The tongues, the
hearing
heads, the severed hands, and the
Having
pictures of the guys
No.
bound and
able to carry
gagged.
on intelligent
That's another story, but
conversation?
Yes.
Did he ever respond to your questions in an incoherent manner?
No.
no, man.
Was he ever what appeared to you to be irrational?
No.
Did he ever do anything that you thought was just strange or bizarre?
No.
Do you recall any inappropriate behavior on Mr. Dahmer's part?
Not one thing.
No.
Yeah, Wayne. I was a little worried for a second that Wayne had something in mind, but he doesn't want to hammer a guy when he's down right now. He thought long and hard about that. There was something that Dahmer did. I'm going to guess using his schlong to stir the chocolate, but Wayne didn't want to bring it up because he knows the bro's down right now.
Just adding up the dates from 1986 to July of 91, you worked with him a little over 5 years, right?
Yes.
And those are 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year pretty much, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit fan. We're all a little racist, Your Honor. That should be a safe space. You should be able to just be like, look, yeah, I'm going to answer the question with all honesty as to how racist I am, but so is everybody else in this courtroom right now. And it might be a different story if they're not filming it, because then people might be a little bit more forthcoming. But yeah, Your Honor, we're actually all a little bit fucking racist, okay? Oh, you just sit there with a smile on your face every time a Chinese lady cuts you off in traffic? Okay, Your Honor. All right, hold me in contempt. You like it when they don't use crosswalks? Okay, Your Honor. We'll go with that.
Considering that whole 5-year period, can you describe what impression was made on your mind by the conduct, actions, manner, expressions, and conversations which you observed in Mr. Dahmer?
I thought nothing unusual at all. He, as I said before, he was a satisfactory employee. Pretty much did his job and kept to himself.
Yeah, man, I'm with you, Akasha. Like, I want Wayne Banning to be my supervisor too. Seems like the kind of guy who really does not want to bust your balls at all, and if he has to do it, he's even apologetic. He's like, Quantetta, I have to come to you about this. You were 73 minutes late 4 times this week. I don't want to do anything about it. I know you're a good employee, but corporate's really coming down on me. We're really getting backed up on chocolate here, so we're going to need you to, if you could just cut it back to being 45 minutes late per day, taking a little bit less than 90-minute lunch break that you normally take, and then also telling me what's not your job. If you could chill on that a little bit, I think we'll be okay.
Seemed like a fairly nice guy.
Yes.
No further questions.
Cross-examination. What if this got Dahmer acquitted?
Mr. Banning, you've indicated that there was a period of time that Mr. Dahmer volunteered for overtime work, correct?
Yes.
Stacking that
And
bread.
you knew at the time that he was spending time at the House of Correction, correct?
I was aware of that, yes.
And would you
Is the
agree-
House of Corrections something that I'm completely unaware of? Is it like a gay club? Because it feels like the way that they refer to it does not make it seem like it's a jail-related thing.
Then, of course, that you would know that if he volunteered for additional overtime, it was due to the fact that he knew he would be out of jail longer by working longer. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so
Did you ever socialize with Mr. Dahmer?
Socialize
Outside of work?
Outside of work, no.
come on, Wayne.
I did give him a ride home once.
There we go. Now we're
As far as
talking.
Socializing.
Take a
no.
few Polaroids, did you, Wayne?
Anything socially that you did with Mr. Dahmer?
Yeah.
Crack a few Budweisers while you guys watch Exorcist 3, did you, Wayne? All right, man. Yeah, Wayne's definitely not being as forthcoming as he should be, because when I saw the side-by-side of Wayne Banning and Jeff Dahmer, they have definitely kissed before, and if I'm wrong, may God strike me dead right now.
Mr. Dahmer, as I see is indicated here, has worked at the company from January of '85. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So that was about 7 years before the time that he was.
JM says the House of Corrections, it's like House of Blues, but for chiropractors. Oh, man. I would love to see a video of Dahmer getting cracked.
Dismissed.
Getting
6.5,
ring-dingered.
7 years, close to.
Yes.
Okay. And during that time, I think you testified that you had indicated you were a supervisor for 5 of those years?
Yes.
Okay. Now, during the period of time prior to December of '89, would you say as his supervisor that he was,
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like Dahmer's place was more of an apartment of corrections.
was in pretty good attendance?
Yes, I think he had run into trouble once before that, where he had gotten himself pretty far into our attendance system, but he had pulled out of that.
Nice.
Okay.
That's a really nice way to put that. Gotten himself
I have
pretty far
here-
into our attendance system, but he pulled himself out of that. That's a very honorable way to answer that question.
Some records of disciplinary action sheets. It indicates, you have your signature on here that indicates that on December 1st of 1989, that there was excessive absenteeism, and there was a record of written warning for that. Is that
Yeah, man, I'm up all night cutting guys' heads off. What do you want from me? You want me to be here on fucking time? I messaged Shaner about that this week because I was in Ocean City, New Jersey. And anytime, I love Ocean City, New Jersey. It's a very beautiful, peaceful place. But one element of darkness that exists there is that there's this elderly people apartment building where maybe 15 years ago, a guy cut his mom's head off there. And I messaged Shaner about being there and about cutting somebody's head off. And I said, cutting somebody's head off seems like so much goddamn work. Shaner says, I think that's the mindset that gets people into problems. Honestly, it only takes 3 full turns of the human head on the neck and a hearty pull to decapitate someone. With a knife, elbow grease, and a little bit of a boner, you can achieve success. So Shaner's always the voice of reason in situations like this, man. That's a guy I would love to... Shaner should teach serial killing. I really think if he hasn't gotten into it already, I think Shaner would be really good, know all the ins and outs, because even if he hasn't killed somebody, you know how people are like fucking like life coaches and shit like that, and they can get away with it and they make a ton of money doing that. I think Shaner, if he hasn't killed anybody, should definitely look into it, because he's a guy that really seems to know the ins and outs of putting somebody on the outs.
Correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And then again, on 4/8 of 91, you have your signature again to a record of disciplinary action, indicating that he was given a verbal warning. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that.
Okay. Once again, in 5/20 of 91, there was once again your signature to a record of disciplinary action, giving an additional written warning for absenteeism. If I was to tell you this also exists, would you agree with that?
Yes.
And again, in 6 of 91, there was again another, you signed another record of disciplinary action giving a final warning. That's correct?
That's correct.
I don't know, man. I think absenteeism, being late, I think it's the factor that should be least considered in determining whether or not somebody's a good employee. I was fucking late constantly at jobs, and once I was there, I did a great job. I often showed up either hungover or still drunk. So I think that speaks a lot to my work ethic and my testament to how committed I was to those jobs. So I don't think absenteeism or lateness contributes to the overall complexion of an employee's value.
So in fact, there was verbal and written warnings given to Mr. Dahmer during this period of time, showing a deterioration in his work, correct?
That's correct.
Excuse me, let me rephrase it. Showing a deterioration in tardiness.
Tardiness and...
Absenteeism, correct?
Yes.
They all indicate here that there was excessive absenteeism.
Yes.
Okay. So it'd be fair to say that
I wouldn't hold this against
December of '89 through up to the point of time in July when he was eventually discharged, that there was a considerable deterioration in his attendance at work, correct?
Yes, enough to move him.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking cop, lady, all right? Jesus, I'm not a fucking chocolate cop, okay? Is that what you want me to be? I'm here to make sure you're friggin', you get your fucking dopamine fix in guzzling sugar. I'm not here to fucking write summonses for people being late to goddamn friggin' late to the chocolate factory. Oh, Shaner. Shader's texted me because there's a porn star threatening to kill herself on Instagram. It's just crazy how you can summon people like this. Oh, man. God, I love Shaner so much. Speak of the devil and he appears, baby.
Along in our attendance system.
Okay. Now, you have certain rules at the company that you have to follow relative to attendance, or otherwise you'll be discharged, correct?
Discharged from the chocolate factory.
And these rules are on what, a point system that you have?
Yes.
And after so many points are accumulated, you're discharged?
Yes, it's progressive.
Why is she saying discharged like he's in the fucking chocolate army? Like the guy's making peanut butter cups. Let's not fucking make this a few good men.
Well, then would you agree?
You can't handle the nougat.
Agree then that due to this progression of absenteeism in the record of Mr. Dahmer here, that he was fired because he failed to conform his conduct to the requirements and conditions of his employment?
Is this line of questioning really fucking important to what they're getting Jeff Dahmer on? I mean, the guy is he's already going to prison forever. Like, do you really have to hammer home that he wasn't the ideal employee? Like, good gravy. No one to get off a guy's back. Fuck, man.
He lost his job for excessive absenteeism.
Because he failed to follow the rules, correct?
Oh, shut up.
I guess you could put it that way.
And he failed even after warning to conform to the rules, correct?
I did speak with him every time that he was given a warning.
And so he didn't conform.
He lost his job for excessive absenteeism.
Yeah, tell her, fucking Wayne. You don't need to... Oh, my God. Look, even Jeff's getting... Look, he's got his lawyer writing shit down. Yeah, sorry I was late.
You've indicated before that you didn't find that there was anything unusual about the fact that he kept to himself. Would you have considered him a loner?
I guess you could, yes.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity as a supervisor to observe him at lunch breaks or other breaks?
Occasionally.
Yeah, I would watch him eat hot dogs through the window.
Do you know what he was like with any of his fellow employees at lunchtime or break time?
The few times that I did observe him at lunch or on a break, I noticed him sitting by himself.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Did you ever have occasion to believe that he was drinking on the job?
No.
I hate knowing that Dahmer had to eat lunch by himself. Like, everything that I find out about Jeffrey Dahmer makes me just want to give him a big old hug. If he wasn't beaten to death with a barbell by a gay guy with an axe to grind, I would have loved to have visited Jeffrey Dahmer and just gave him a big old hug and a big old wet kiss. Eating lunch by himself. God. Could not one person have been a friend in that situation? Like, I mean, I don't want to be critical of Wayne here because I think Wayne's doing a really good job of defending Dahmer as a subordinate. But, Wayne, just eat your fucking chicken fingers with the guy, man. Would it have killed you to sit next to Dahmer and just, I don't know, man, share a Lunchable with the fucking guy?
Were you aware at any time that he had a skull kept in his locker?
No.
All right, well.
Would there have been anyone there who would have had access or been able to get access to his locker there?
I don't know. Skull's like the much lower end of fucked up shit that you could have in your locker because I'm thinking back to the one job that where lockers figured most prominently into was when I was an operating room orderly shaving pubes. You could smell people's lockers. Like it felt as though they were putting fucking rotting corpses in these fucking lockers, and it was just old sweatshirts, old shoes. So if a guy had a skull in there, I would be much more okay with that than an old pair of sneakers.
I believe the company does have keys for all of the lockers.
So somebody could get in there if necessary.
If there was a reasonable cause, the company could open up his locker. If there was a great reason to suspect anything
that's fine.
Unusual, yes.
Was there anything at all that would give you any reason to believe that Mr. Dahmer was an alcoholic?
Yeah, he's working the midnight shift at the chocolate factory.
Anytime just from speaking with him that you've ever smelled alcohol in his breath?
No.
Good answer, Wayne. They want Wayne to talk shit about him, and he's just not falling for it. There we go.
Media
I like
reports painted Jeff as a very troubled individual.
So Wayne Baining, you know, we're going to give Wayne Baining a chirp. We got to hit him with a chirp. Wayne, this is for you, brother. You're getting a couple chirps here. We're going to give you one more, brother. Oh, man. I can't get enough Dahmer. Manson, Dahmer, those are my top two guys that I can't get enough of. There's always something new to be learned. I think Dahmer's more of an open and shut case. Manson seems to be a little gift that continues to open throughout the years. But Dahmer, this is one of my favorite aspects of the Dahmer case is that he was such a good employee that one of his supervisors was just like, look, I don't give a fuck that you're taking Polaroids of guys bound and gagged against their will. You were a nice guy to fucking deal with, Jeff, so I got to ride out for you. Oh, my God. We got to look up... we got to go to Trapped in the Closet. YouTube always busts my balls about it, which is crazy because even for a sex criminal, they really stick with their copyright stuff. Trapped in the Black. Why am I typing that? I got blacked on the brain. I was at war with black.com recently. I signed up for Blacked, Wifey. You know, you get everything under the Vixen umbrella for $35 a month. But I realized, all right, $35 is way too much to be spending on this, so I had to cancel twice. So maybe that's why I got blacked on the brain. All right, so we were on, I think chapter 2 was the last one that we watched. All right, let's go back a little bit. Let's see where we could pick this up from. I do remember the fight in the bedroom. So let me see if I can find a timestamp here on these R. Kelly videos. All right, we're going to look this shit up together. All right, I know somebody timestamped this shit for me. A lot of genuine comments under R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet. Usually, all right, if I go this deep in the comments, it's usually for like a fucking, some kind of a live musical performance where always one of the bros is very cool about letting you know exactly where everything is. But R. Kelly fans, not as much, man. All right, so we're going to pick a generalized area where I think we left off here. All right, so we were at the end of this shit. When I read Sam Tallent's book, within a few pages, I'm like, dude, nobody has a better command of the English language than Sam Talent. But I think a close second has to be R. Kelly for the way that he is able to make in unsingable sentences actually singable and actually fit together just perfectly. Oh my God, dude. This is Robert Kelly at his absolute best, just being sweet as pie and just spoiling a lady who he was ready to kill a couple minutes ago until he found out her brother Twan was the one that answered the phone. Thank God she cleared this up. He's getting sloppy seconded. Oh my God. Will anything ever work out for Robert Kelly? Golly, man. Something's got to go right for the guy. Oh, man, so that was Trapped in the Closet. I think that was chapter 3, possibly 4. And good gravy, man. R. Kelly, Jeff Dahmer, Lindsay Clancy. What a run we had today. Ooh, on Tuesday night. Yeah, this Tuesday night, I'm going to do another stream. So if there's anything specific you want me to show during the stream, just send it to me. Send me the link. Send me any subject matter you want me to talk about. I'm always happy to pop it up. And whatever you want to watch, I'm happy to watch on here, man. Oh, man. I always like to finish with some R. Kelly because it always puts him in a good mood. And there isn't a guy who has more creatively concocted a song more so than R. Kelly, man. And it's one of the things I'll always appreciate about him, and it's one of the things that they'll never take away from me as long as I live. I will say that. I mean, egregious sex crimes aside, R. Kelly really knows how to put a sentence together. But the man was a midget. Oh, man, I'm so excited about the conspiracy episodes that John, Jake, and I are doing together. I hope you guys really like them. We started talking about the JFK assassination the other night, and really, I don't know, really eye-opening, and I'd been aware of a lot of it coming in, but I remember being a kid and watching that footage for the first time. There was nothing like it. Well, I shouldn't say nothing like it. There was the R. Bud Dwyer footage, which I remember seeing as a little guy. Probably, maybe even a little bit more fucked up than JFK, but JFK, there's so many different elements to it, elements of possibility that really make it an interesting thing to dig into. And I just don't have a strongly formulated opinion one way or another. But Jake, John, and I, we discussed the CIA angle, we discussed the organized crime angle, the military-industrial complex angle. All possibilities, baby. But yeah, I think that's going to be out in a couple weeks. This week coming up, I'm going to record a video on Laurel Canyon. I've been obsessed over that lately, and just a very, very weird, very odd place that housed some of the most talented people that have existed, that have made music. And yeah, just a very odd place, which could potentially have been spoiled by the CIA, just dumping all these people into this breeding ground to thwart the anti-war movement. Man, I can't believe it's been 57 years since the Manson murders. Man, where does fucking time go? Yeah, R. Kelly, incredible producer as well. Oh, Gay Scott, thanks, man. I'm looking forward to Joke World. Is anybody in the chat going to Joke World? If so, I'm flying into Orlando, so I might try to sneak into Disney Day. So if anybody is in Orlando on the 13th, yeah, maybe we could organize a Disney meetup. Or Universal. I haven't been to Universal in a while, too. That shit's a lot of fun as well. I'm up for either, baby. But yeah, Joke World rocks. I can't wait to fucking be there this week. We're going to carry on. Lucas Danner, I'm just finishing up Weird Scenes from the Canyon. I didn't read Program to Kill yet, but that's coming up soon too. There's another one I read. Hold on, let me grab this other book I got. So I got this other one. I'm reading this along with Mason Smith, my buddy Mason Smith. So this is a Zero at the Bone. And this is about a very fucked up story of a guy that wiped out his entire family in Arkansas. And just a through and through nasty ass. Ronald Gene Simmons Jr. It's called Zero at the Bone. So as soon as I'm done with Weird Scenes at the Canyon, I'm going to be reading this with Mason, and we're going to do an episode about Ronald Gene Simmons, which I'm excited about. I've been pulling my buddies aside and asking them who their scariest guys are, and Mason's scariest guy was Ronald Gene Simmons because they're from a similar place in Arkansas. So I'm very excited about that. Runaway Slav, what's up, homie? Glad you could join us. But yeah, I like Dave McGowan's writing. I'm really enjoying getting into conspiracies. It's all so new to me. It's one of the fun things about life is like when you get into a subject heavy, it's like, oh, this entire universe already exists. So if anybody has any ideas for cool conspiracy things that you want us to talk about, or if you want to pop it up on the stream, I think I might start doing that too, is maybe adding a conspiracy element to each stream, because that would be a lot of fun. Oh, relative to this, I met a guy who's a UFO hunter last night. Very fucking cool guy. Look forward to speaking with him more. But if you're into UFOs, I'm starting to get into that shit, too. Oh, Shadow Homie, let me read your... There's a new Universal World, Mike. Oh, yeah, fuck, I forgot about that. Yeah, I haven't been to the new spot in Universal. I've been to regular-ass Universal, Islands of Adventure, but I haven't been to the new one yet, so I might want to check that out. But yeah, if anybody's going or will be in the area this week, let me know, and maybe we can meet up. That would be a lot of fun. I have a day before and a day after Joke World to kind of fuck around and have fun. Oh, sick. The stream's got 666 views right now. That's how I like it. Yeah, if anybody has any questions about anything, hit me with them. Happy to answer. T Rhodes, what up, brother? Oh, dude, that would be sick. Yeah, if I can figure out a park time, I'm pretty sure I get in early as fuck that morning, so I would have like an entire day if I do go. But I would love to hit you up. But the man is a midget. Yeah, thank you for another fun stream, everybody. Thank you for joining me. And like I said, Tuesday night, we're going to have another live stream. It's going to be the first evening, I guess, evening Maniacs with Mike. Looking forward to that. I love doing the shit on Saturday. And let me just check my schedule to see what the up. All right, Tuesday night, we're streaming again. Saturday, I'll be at Joke World. Then after that, Saturday the 22nd, I'll be streaming again. Thursday the 27th will be another evening stream. And then the 29th, I got to go back to Philly to record some more Stinker episodes with John and Jake. Yeah, we're rocking, baby. We got a new addition to the set at Jake's house, which I'm excited for people to see. Real little nasty ass. Shadow Homie, do you think you and your wife are the sexiest Disney adults? Oh, behave. Yeah, that requires an Austin Powers. I don't know, man. There's some sexy Disney freaks out there. There's a big Disney swingers community, which I would like to learn more about because, man, the pairing of those two worlds is something else, baby. Yeah, Stephanie, John killed that shit. Yeah, him and fucking Jake are really good at giving the presentations. Surfboard Charlie. Not my birds. Wouldn't be me. Case Cobb, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, I look forward to seeing any and all of you that are able to make it to Joke World. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of stand-up. Tim and I are doing a live dad meet with Sam Talent, which is going to be a ton of fun. Can't wait for that shit. So if you're going to be there, come up, say what's up. And, yeah, I look forward to spending time with you guys that are going to be there. So it's a nice precursor to Skankfest, man. Is there a new schedule for Little Stinkers Live? I checked the last 2 Wednesdays, and I haven't seen them. We don't have anything on the books yet. It's normally like a week of that we coordinate. We should coordinate them a little bit earlier, though. Yeah, I'll check in with John and Jake and see when we're able to do the next one together. We are going to be doing a live show in Philly. I don't know if tickets are on sale yet. But John, Jake, and I are doing a live show October 8th at Soul Joel. So if anybody can make it out to that, we're going to be doing stinker shit there and having fun. We'd love to see you guys there. Soul Joel's is one of my favorite venues. Really, really always have great shows there, and Joel's a really cool guy. So, but yeah, anything we do that's going to be live, I'll make sure I post on the Patreon just so everybody's aware and can see what we got coming up, man. So thank you guys for listening to Little Stinkers. Thank you for watching. And I really appreciate you guys taking part in these streams with me. I really have a lot of fun doing this shit. And if you could make it Tuesday night, I think the time is 8:30 Central for the Little Stinker stream that I'll be doing. And if you can make it, I would love to see you there. And if there's anything in particular you would like to see, please just let me know. Yeah, we got. Let me hit you with a chirp before we part ways for the day. Yeah, we're gonna hit a 3 chirp salute for all you guys in the chat. Thank you guys for joining me, man. All right, guys, thank you for joining me for yet another fun stream. I'll be back Tuesday night, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. And man, I'm still reeling from hearing what a good employee Dahmer was. That guy doesn't get enough credit that he deserves for being such a great employee. But, you know, Jeff, you know, if you're in heaven, listen to this. Please know we appreciate what a good employee you were. We appreciate all the time and energy you put into making that chocolate, because we know a lot of people, they would just completely disregard their responsibilities at the chocolate factory. But when I think of chocolate factory, I think of Jeff Dahmer and R. Kelly, man. Two of the guys who really factor prominently into Little Stinker's lore. And I don't know, man. I just can't say anything about either of the guys. So, all right, y'all. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you hopefully on Tuesday night at 8:30 for the next Little Stinker stream. Later, guys.